everyone. Welcome to the Woman to Woman show. My name is Joy. Yes, and I have distinguished guests in the studio today. I'm going to start from my left hand side. I have Dr. May, a beautiful, kind hearted woman. You're
Thank you
welcome to
very much.
today's show.
Thank you very much.
Dr. May, we really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
And to the far end, we have Mr. Wale Ajason. You're welcome to the show, the Woman to Woman show. Don't forget, my name is Joy, and I am the host for this show. We have a very interesting topic today that we'll be talking about, and that topic is: do you think we have equal rights, with the men? And we also have Mrs. Dele Oshibo. She's an advocate. She's the past president of Nigeria Women in Information and Technology. We are glad to have you, ma. You're welcome, ma, Mrs. Oshibo. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on board to the Woman to Woman show. Like we know, our topic is do Nigerian women actually have equal rights? But before we dive into that, from your background, I would want you to let us know, tell us if the Nigerian constitution supports equal rights. That's the women having equal rights with the men.
Thank you very much. First, just to say thank you for having me here. It's a real privilege and a pleasure to be here and to be able to talk about woman to woman, about how things affect us in Nigeria. So your question is, do we have a constitutional right in Nigeria?
Yeah.
The truth is that the law in Nigeria is gender averse. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It is the same law that governs both men and women. So, in a sentence, the law is there. The law protects an individual. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. But I guess, do women go after the law or not? That would be the issue. How do we take the law and how do we utilize it? How do the courts interpret those laws? So it's in the use. The law is there. It protects any Nigerian, male, female, equally.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's leave Nigerian law now or Nigerian constitution now. What do you think with the way things are happening in the country? Are women really given the rights they are supposed to have?
So for me, the short answer is, you say, are they given the right they are supposed to have? Nobody gives you. It's there. Are you taking the law and utilizing it? For me, that is the question. So if the law is there and you're a woman and you feel aggrieved, then go and seek it. Now, the other part to that is when you get to the seeking, will the men who are managing the laws now going to give you your right? It's left to be seen. But if we, as women, we are defeatists, and the first thing we're thinking is, oh, the men are going to, then we will not move forward. We need to find a couple of women who will stand and say, the law is for everybody. I am going to chase the law, in the rightful way. I will not go through corners. I will do the legal way and see where that ends. And, I know that as women in Nigeria, or even women all over, a few things don't work in our favor. So specifically in the third world, poverty and all of these things, education, and even the way the culture sees you. If you're a woman and you're fighting, so, for your rights, as it were, you say, no, I have to go through the doors. Everybody will look at you and say, what's wrong with this woman? Go and sit in one place. But the reality is that the Fumilayo Ransom Kutis of this world that came before us, They didn't look at, if you want to make impact, you just have to step out and do that which the law permits you to do. It's a different thing if you lose when you go to court. That's fine, but at least you would have gone out. I don't want to mention specifics, but in recent times, we have been reading this information. If that young woman, that senator woman did not step out, we wouldn't have known. So, I think the problem we have as women, or the issues that surround, do women have rights? I think we have moved away from that. The question is, where are the women who are going to stand up for the rights? For me, that is where it is.
So that means this is an individual thing.
It is, because even as a man, it's an individual thing. You find men who are timid as well. They don't go and, yeah, so many men, they won't even do the right thing. Do you understand what I mean? But I think I'm one of those women. I don't like the emphasis that we like to lay on, oh, the law won't permit me. Nobody is holding your hand. All you need to do is stretch out and go and get the law.
Okay,
Believe me.
let's take for example Nama. You see, like these are areas like women are being discriminated. Like when it comes to inheritance, when it comes to, for example, a landlord, a lady wants to go and look for a house, she wants accommodation, and the accommodation is there, a vacancy, this house is vacant, and she comes, are you married? No, she's not married. No, I'm not married. And the landlord say, oh, I don't want to, I can't give you my house because you're not married, you'll be bringing different men to this place. But the same landlord will give that house to a single man.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is
So
discrimination.
yes, but it is in our attitude. It's not about the law. The Lord didn't say the man shouldn't give house to a single woman. And believe me honestly, when a single woman is standing well, the landlord will give the house. There is so much we need to do as women that, you need to bring yourself up to a certain stature. You need to be well educated, you need to earn your own, and people will start looking at you differently. And believe me honestly, there's no landlord that will tell me they can't give me a house. It's not
Will you
possible.
sue the landlord if it's you?
Probably, I'll take him to Lagos State because there are laws there.
Okay.
The thing is, we are too accommodating as women. We just let things roll over and then we complain about the law. What has the law got to do with somebody not renting a house to me? I
Okay.
will take him to Lagos State, seriously,
Okay.
and I
Thank
will
you, Ma.
make sure that that is dealt with properly. I think the problem is we are too, the societal, what will they say? Oh, I don't want to be the one in front of this problem. Oh, those idiosyncrasies that are societal driven. It has, honestly, the law is there. It's for everybody to choose to use it or not.
Or not.
Maybe
Oh,
because I read law, so I'm more averse with this thing.
maybe. Maybe. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Ma.
much.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
the opportunity. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, Ma. And I'm going to start with Dr. May. Dr. May is going to tell us what she thinks if we actually do have equal rights, in this country. Dr. May, what do you think?
Like the previous speaker talked about, the law is there to ensure that we as humans have rights. But obviously, Nigeria has signed on to a lot of international laws that enables women's rights to thrive. And Nigeria is a part of a lot of those laws, and we have that existing here. However, like she said, it is in the implementation. And but for me, implementation is how that translates to our lives as women in Nigeria. Culturally, there are things that are women's rights that are frowned upon. Our rights to property, our rights to a number of things that are supposed to be our rights to live in general. Women go through domestic violence, go through all kinds of they are violated in different ways, but yet they do not utilize the laws. And the reason being there is that the law sometimes does not favor the women at times. Not just because it doesn't favor us, it takes a lot of time, and it's something that applies to the men too. To get justice in Nigeria is very difficult. So by the time people think about ways to go about, getting justice for themselves, they basically become very complacent and very passive about it.
Now we're going to narrow it down to that in inheritance. Inheritance now involves, let's say, family. Maybe your family, that's your father's property. Because in some cultures, they will say women are not allowed to inherit anything from their father's wealth. Although to me, which is not supposed to be. After all, that father gave birth to that daughter, you know. But in this case now, it's left for that woman now to fight that fight. That daddy, I need ABC. If my brothers are getting this, I should be able to get something from that, well, it's not government stopping us now from having that equal right. So in this now, where do we start from?
I think it's also like that. What you mentioned is very cultural. Again, like it can happen to anyone. She also mentioned the fact that it depends on the level of the woman. Is she educated? There are women in courts fighting for different things, whether it's their husband's properties or that it takes a toll on even a man to fight for property and left alone for a woman who might not even have the funds sometimes to fight for those property. There are some women who fight and they succeed. So I think it's on a case by case basis, but it is again, what does the culture or socio-economic socio-cultural situations allows and promotes for women to fight for? So would a woman openly, is it something that when you see cases for land cases, usually there are men fighting for land. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that women don't want to do that, but what does the culture permit us? Social cultural environment permits us as women. I heard you mention about rent. I remember when I was single, when I wanted to some of the properties I tried to acquire, they required a man. I'm very educated, up to PhD standard. I have my own money, but still, depending on, again, when you're talking about levels, levels get levels. If I go to Munshi and I wanted to acquire that property, they might not question me. But I was in Ikoyi, so they needed something else. I wondered what I did. They needed reference from everybody. But I remember when I was trying to acquire another property for my business and a man went forward, that question was not answered. And that man was nowhere near me in terms of level. So I've seen that happen firsthand.
Okay, so are you saying, to you, from your opinion, are you saying, Mr. Willie, I'm coming to you now. Are you saying women have equal rights? Is that equal right, is it in existence
Yes,
in Nigeria?
it is in existence in Nigeria. It's just the social cultural nuances of those rights being implemented that is the problem.
Okay. Mr. Wale, to you now, do you think there's that equality?
I think when it comes to gender studies, communication when it comes to women, I myself as a man have to be very careful because people don't want to see you as being biased. But so I want to come out a little bit academic. I think the question of equality is pretty wrong. Equity should be one of the things that should be used, not equality, because equality seems to put the two persons at par, a man and a woman. And they have a lot of differences. A man is physically strong, more stronger than a woman. And if you're putting equality in that perspective, expecting a man to do the same thing as a woman is doing, or a woman to do the same thing as a man is doing, that's not equality in it. So practically, society should look at equity. The way the woman is fashioned, how much rights should you give to a woman within the context of the society? Because society is always going through change. The old traditional cultures did not expect a lot of things from women. They put so much emphasis on family. Thus, they expected the woman to be the fabric, that the woman to be the one that will weave the fabrics of the family. So the women were almost kept at home to build the family. But right now we understand that technology has come and the woman has to express herself. So a lot of women are out there. In the Nigerian society, which is also a changing society, which is a society that is still appreciating westernization and colonialism affected us a lot. So we don't know where we belong. We are getting our feet. I won't say the society is doing badly at all. I would say society is accepting women. From what she said, a lot of women still don't see themselves in that particular vein. We are coming from a cultural background. Your mom told you as a woman, don't talk to a man like this. Where else do you want a woman to believe that she should be able to stand up to a man? Your mom told you as a woman you're supposed to learn this. I told someone one day, a woman is trained to be a wife. A man is not trained to be a husband. They train a woman to be a wife. They will tell you when you get to your husband's house, don't behave in particular manners. There's the not a man when you get to your wife's house. There's no wife's house you're going to. So there's a cultural capacity that we have to put into consideration when we're looking at the Nigerian society. Can the society do better? Yes. At equity level, do I see that's being balanced? I think it's staggering. But the staggering capacity is going to create a balance if we keep propagating this kind of message across the people.
Yeah, but like right now, women are actually crying. Women are bleeding. They think they do not have enough rights. No, see, the right is actually there. They think they are not given that opportunity to own their right.
The two examples that were made on this show right now. The first is about inheritance, and I think most times when people take things on the surface, they don't really understand how it all started. Why should the wealth of family A move to family B? Now we have to look at cultural influences that started this whole thing. People believe a woman becomes the product of another family when they get married. So they think if I'm carrying the land, and then countries used to get married to themselves, like you see the prince of Egypt marrying the queen of Syria. What inheritance am I going to give you? Most of them had lands, farmlands. There's nothing to give to the woman. The man doesn't leave the father's land. He stays there and continues and grows it. That's what bettered that. What I'm saying is this. If we want to give women more rights, which I think a lot of women are thinking they're not given the right now, what we need to start changing is, first of all, we have to tell them the historical analysis of how those stories started. Why is a woman's sin as lower than men? Let's start from that point. When a woman understands that, oh, that story was because in the Stone Age, stone was the heaviest metal. If you have stone, you are richer than everybody. A woman cannot carry stone as men. That is where men became stronger. That's all. But right now, you don't need a stone. A small piece of glass cup is more expensive. So we have to get women sensitized more and more to understand the fact that they are appreciated in society, but they need to appreciate themselves. A woman needs to understand the fact that, like what doctor said, if she wants to get something, she knows her capacity, she knows who she is. If she's stepping into the place, she controls men. She will tell the men, go and do this for me, and they will go and do it for me. So a man that's still standing up and telling Dr. May that I won't allow you rent my house is less learned. That's the position I see. So I think
You think so?
I should use the word I know so. The man might not know, but I know. If you learn it enough, you understand the fact that there's no need for you to be asking a woman, where are you married? If you're not married, don't come to the house. There's a freedom of association. I can marry and come to your house and divorce the next day. Or I tell the boyfriend or whoever it is I'm with to go. But then what happens? Will you tell me to pack out because the man is not there? It's not likely. You understand? So it's the level of
True,
knowledge.
but although it still happens, it's still happening even till tomorrow. Agents will say that to you. Auntie, you marry. Do you have a husband? And once she says no, is it auntie, the house is gone, oh? Or auntie, sorry, oh, landlord say we cannot give you the house because you are single. But a single man will come and they will give that house to that single man.
So that in this, there's a fear of masculinity. If I'm in my house and a lady is walking towards me, I don't feel scared. By 8:30, if a man is walking towards me, I get bothered. Like I don't know who he is, I don't know what he's coming to do. So a lot of people want to protect their environment, their immediate environment, their homes. If you give a single lady your house and different men come to the house based on what they are saying, they don't know who the men are. But if you give a man, no matter the woman that's coming, they don't have a problem with it. The same way, if
men visit them too.
So
Men visit the women. In fact, a lot more men visit their male friends than women do. Women trooping, but men, single men. Have you ever? Bachelors. Their guys always they are playing games together. They hang out together more than they don't. Most bachelors don't want the girls to stay around them for too long. So even that logic for me, it doesn't work. But I agree with you when you say, the man is not learned enough, and it's something that we've just a cycle of tradition that we've had, the notion we have about women. And I really love what you talked about. You said about equity, but the essence of equity is for equal opportunity. I know people use equality all the time, but that's really the outcome that they are looking for.
Yeah.
But the equity is so, so important. And I stand with you when it comes to equity. But the point here then is, where is the equal opportunity for women to thrive? For instance, let's look at it from a political viewpoint.
Okay.
In 1999, we had 3% of women represented in decision-making position in politics. Everybody would say 1999 was the beginning of politics or beginning of democracy, so it's understandable. It started to increase to 6 point something, and then it peaked at 9%. And that was during Jonathan's time when we had a lot more women. And then it kept decreasing. Today it's at 3.2. What's going on?
So
and the society, we are screaming that the society, we have an affirmative.
What you just said right now makes it sound, it's always very difficult for me to know. Who are women really asking from? This position of leadership? Are they asking men, give it to us? Men were never given.
Well,
there was nobody that gave a governorship. The governor went to collect a form, participated in politics, and became a governor.
How much is it? Do you know how much it costs to get a form, like an APC form?
100 million for presidency or something.
Even now, do you know what it costs to get for governorship?
I don't know.
Now, 100 million. How many women can cough out? I know how many men, but still, how many men, when it comes to fundraising for a man to become anything, men will gather.
So that means men have more friends.
Men have more money too.
So if you have more money and you have more friends, and politics about money, and you're not saying give this politics to women.
Dr. May, from what he just said now, that's showing that women, we do not support even ourselves.
No, that one day one side as well.
That means women supporting women, that means we'll be making empty noise. That's what I would say.
So people have come out to fight that. Let youths rule the country. Youths are poor. They don't have money. So you see, there's this crave about when you don't have the capacity as much as some people. You want to get a space that I feel, I won't say you don't belong, but I don't want to go into democratic system because we're talking about women today. But if you look at the democratic system, it's not a cheap system. It's quite very expensive. Not like we don't have women that have this money and all these capacities. I feel also there are a lot of cultural implications that attend to it. A lot of men are scared or bothered of a woman being called a leader over them. They don't see it. They don't understand it. Their religion does not support it. A woman does not even sit in the same place with them when they want to pray or they want to do some things. So a woman cannot be a pastor in the church, and now I have to go to work and I have to wake up and like, good morning, ma, and the woman gives direction. They don't want to accept it. So there's some things that are fighting this. Until we saw people like my own time, I saw Professor Dorak Yili, and I knew that you will now have gotten a better person as NAFDAC than we know Okonjo Iweala. She handles the economy as if it was something she was born with. So these are people that we know of as well, like that women that have got capacities that men don't have.
And even the law already, like the other lady spoke about, the law is there. There is the quota system that allows for. There is. And the essence of that is to create equal opportunity.
That kills merit.
Yeah?
That kills merit.
No, I understand the aspect of merit, but that doesn't mean that women, they are not qualified women. There are qualified women out there. And first, it's just like even in outside of this country, we talked about, there are talks about diversity. I know that now this whole diversity issue is a big issue in the US. There's there's something called too much of everything, but there's always that, like you said, women should go and ask where they started from. We also need to ask where it started from for someone like Barack Obama to even dream of becoming the president of a country that once had people like him as slaves. There were systems that began to start to eradicate that. There will be a time where a quota system will not be necessary in a country where it is normal for a woman to take up a role. But now it is not that case.
I think women, that we need to go back to the drawing board. That's to me now. From this that we've said today, I think we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to ask ourselves questions. Because, yes, in leadership, nobody is holding anybody.
Of course.
Really, like what Mr. Wale said. You have the funds, go get your form, do the needful, and that's a starting point. You kick up from there. Really, how many women, and even those women that dared to come out, how many women actually supported them. Because from statistics, they say women were higher in number. And if you actually bring a woman out to support her fully, I think that without rigging, no rigging, normal elections.
I mean, that conversation is like the women support women conversation is a conversation that cannot be swept under the rug. I always say that every time. It shouldn't be swept under the rug. And we shouldn't, like everybody said, we shouldn't just sit down, we should go and grab it. But even these women are also used, no woman, no politician can run his stuff without calling a woman leader. There's a reason. But yet, I feel like we're almost seen as a tool against ourselves. But that's left for us.
Why is it like that?
But you see,
Okay.
if you look at the cultural African society that existed from all anthropological studies, there is no time women were not represented. Every time. Queen Amina was a woman that led Zaria.
Amongst how many?
Amongst so every
One woman. Even in the Bible, how many books are there in the Bible? No, how many of them was written by
Women.
The second person that was introduced in the Bible was Eve after Adam, and she conquered Adam.
How many?
How many? And made Adam do what?
How many?
Adam is not supposed. Okay, Zad is scared now.
Just give men one.
Is that why men are scared?
Just take over.
We go and multiply.
Go and talk to those animals for me. Take back with food. See, when we look at it. But in all sincerity, I think all the market women associations has always existed. They always give. I'm not saying the percentage of representation they give to women was enough, but the board that controls the society has always thought of women being inclusive. Percentage needs to be increased, but also so that we won't just talk of women and women and women and we forget the fact that the bedrock of the society is the family. The family is owned by the woman. If we want to talk about this and we want to sensitize more women, I think it has to come from mother to daughter. And they need to start telling their daughters. It might not work in our own generation, but generations to come, tell them, you could be this. Don't look down yourself. Don't see the fact that you look at the National Assembly and all you see are men that's saying, those in support say hi.
Yeah, and you get scared.
Day, you could be the person that will be sitting down over you. Because right now, Senator Natasha coming up with harassment case and being swept under the capital, being suspended, could scare a lot of women from going to that place.
Absolutely. Yeah, true.
So that's why a lot of people were standing up for her and like telling you, like, let us look at the case. Either it's the truth or a lie, nobody knows yet. But don't make me feel because I'm a woman and I make an allegation like that, you're going to sweep it under the carpet. It might scare a lot of younger ladies and say, at that place that I could be harassed and nothing will be done. So we need to talk to our daughters, we need to talk to our sisters, we need to talk to our friends that are women and let them know that it's a growing society and we'll fight it together.
Yeah, nice. It's like we should continue, but our time is far, spent and we need to go. But I tell you, we're going to bring back something similar. We want you to take home today. We want you to know as a woman that you have equal right to. You want to go into politics, go ahead. Whatever profession, sector you want to go into, please do not be scared. Dare to try it. And I tell you, you come back to give us, oh, well done. I listened to that show and that motivated me. And that's why I'm here today. Don't forget that this is the Woman to Woman show. My name is Joy. I am the host for this show. And I want to say a huge thank you to Dr. May and Mr. Wale for coming on board. Thank you so much. All right. Have a great day. Bye.